दीनबन्धु दिनेश दानव दैत्यवंशनिकन्दनं रघुनन्द आनन्द कन्द कौशल चन्द दशरथनन्दनं सिरमुकुटकुण्डल तिलकचारु उदारु अङ्गविभूषणम् आजानुभुज शरचापधर सङ्ग्रामजितखर दूषणम् इति वदति तुलसी दास शङ्कर शेषमुनिमनरञ्जनं मम हृदय कञ्जनिवास कुरु कामादिखलदलगञ्जनं श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन मरण भव भयदारुणं नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुखकर कञ्जपद कञ्जारुणं कञ्जपद कञ्जारुणम्। सियावर रामचंद्र की।
श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त जनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। सन्तोषिणी जगन्माता मम सौभाग्यवृद्धये नमस्करोमि भक्त्या त्वां प्रसन्ना वरदा भव। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। Now we are on we have seen Prathama Sopan, Dvitiya Sopan, that is Balakant and Ayodhya Kant. We have seen the Bharat Vilap, and afterwards he taking the Paduka from Bhagavan and reaching Ayodhya and installing that Padukas. He considered that the kingdom belonged to his brother Ramchandraji. and as a representative, he is running the show until he comes. Now, Tritiya Sopan of Ramcharitmanas, it is known as Aranyakant. The events that took place in the forest, Aranyam. This Aranyam particularly known as Dandakaranyam. Bhagavan first lived in Chitrakoot, then he went to Dandakaranyam. Here there are some people who do not read Aranyakant. Why? Because Sitaji was kidnapped by Ravana. So therefore they feel very sad. So they don't read that particular canto. They skip that. That is also a bhakti bhav. But we will see this Aranyakant. Here in the Balakant beginning, 7 Sanskrit verses were there. In Ayodhya Kant, 3 shlokas, and now you will see only 2 shlokas. Why? Because in this canto, we will find Sitaji is kidnapped. So therefore, only Ram and Lakshman alone were there. So that is why Tulsidaji wrote 2 shlokas. Ishkindakant also 2, but when you see Sundarakant, they found Sitaji and therefore 3 shlokas will be there. First shloka, he does namaskar to Lord Shiva. In the second shloka, namaskar to Bhagavan Ramachandraji. Because Lord Shiva is looked upon as Guru, and then Ishta Devata Namaskar. Now let us read. Vande
मूलं धर्मतरोर्विवेकजलधेः पूर्णेन्दुमानन्ददं वैराग्याम्बुजभास्करं ह्यगगनध्वान्तापहं तापहम् मोहाम्बोदरपूकपाटनिबधो स्वसम्भवं शङ्करम् वन्दे ब्रह्मकुलं कलङ्कशमनं श्रीरामभूपप्रियम् सान्द्रानन्दपयोतसौभगतनुं पीताम्बरं सुन्दरं पाणौ बाणशरासनं कटिलसत्तूणीरभारं वरम् राजीवायतलोचनं धृतजटाच्यूतेन संशोभितं सीतालक्ष्मणसंयुतं पथिगतं रामाभिरामं भजे Vande Shankaram. I bow down to Shankaram, the one who brings auspicious Shankaroti iti Shankaraha, one who brings auspiciousness to all is called Shankaraha. And what he is? Moolam Dharmataroho. He is the very root, source of the tree of Dharma, righteousness. So the Vatavaksha stands for Dharma. That's why Bhagavan is always seated under a tree. And he is the full moon of the ocean of right thinking. Viveka Jalathe Purnendum Anandadam. That means if you are devoted to Lord Shiva, great waves of noble thought rises in your mind. Anandadam, the giver of joy. Then Vairagyambuja Bhaskaram. When the sun rises, the lotuses opens up. By Shiva Bhakti, what happens is the lotus of dispassion will open up in your heart. Then Akha Khanat Dvantapaham Tapaham, and the remover of the darkness of all sin. Akha means sin. Tapaham, and destroyer of all three kinds of afflictions that we generally go through. Adi Bhautikam, suffering from the surroundings. Adi Daivikam, suffering from the hands of God like rain, thunder, lightning, etc. Then Adhyatmikam, suffering from within one's own self, our own mind. Then Mohambodhara Puka Padana Vidhau Swasambhavam. When the clouds gather, sometimes the wind blows, clouds are scattered away. Which clouds are talked about here? Mohambodhara Puka Padana Vidhau. Clouds of delusion, that which cloud our thinking. So, Mohambodhara Puka Padana Vidhau, clouds of delusion, that which cloud our thinking. Shankaram, Shankara, the one who gives you auspiciousness. Vande Brahmakulam, who is in the family of Brahmaji. And Kalanka Shamanam, the one who removes, if you worship Lord Shiva, any kind of blemish that comes to us, they all will be removed. Sri Rama Bhupa Priyam, he is dear to Bhagavan Ramchandraji, and Ramchandraji is very, very dear to him. To that Shankara Bhagavan, my namaskar. The idea is, if we have Shiva Bhakti and Guru Bhakti, then our ignorance and delusion and afflictions, all of them, they will go away. Dispassion will grow, Atmanatma Vivek, that will shine forth and get abidance in Dharma, righteousness. This is the idea of this first verse. And the second verse is towards Bhagavan Ramchandraji. I worship that Rama who delights everyone. Ramabhi Ramam Bhaje. Which Rama you are worshipping here? Patigadam. The one Rama who is wandering in the forest. How he is, his body is glow, and complexion is more beautiful like that of the water-bearing clouds. Sandrananda Payoda Saubhakatanum Pidambaram. Even the bark of a tree, they are also of the yellow color. Sundaram, most handsome. Pano Bana Sharasanam, in his hand there is bow and arrow. Katilasat Tunira Bharam Varam. Also he wears a sheath where so many arrows are there. Rajivayata Lochanam, the lotus-eyed one. Dhrita Jata Jutena Samshobhitam, the hair is of Jata shining upon himself. Sita Lakshmana Samyutam, accompanied by Sitaji and Lakshmana. Tulsidaji, like this Pathikata Rama. That is why our Gurudev installed Vanavasi Ram in Siddhavari Ashram. Vanavasi Ram is available for everybody. The one who sits in the throne, only few can see him.
Uma Ram Guna Godha Pandit Muni Pavahi Birati Pavahi Moha Vimudha Je Hari Bimukha Na Dharmarati Siyavar Ramchandra Ki Jai Pavan Sut Hanuman Ki Jai Umapati Mahadev Ki Jai Bolo Bhai Sab Santan Ki Jai.
Lord Lord Shiva tells Uma, Parvati, Uma, you know, Rama Guna is good. Bhagavan Ramchandraji's virtues, sports and leelas are very, very mysterious. Pandita Muni, those learned and contemplative people, when they hear about Rama Katha or happen to see Rama Leela, and then their jnana, bhakti, vairagya increases. But pavahi moha vimudha, but those who are deluded, ignorant, hari vimukha, turned away from Bhagavan, na dharma ratihi, they do not abide in righteousness, they get deluded. All the time people ask, why did Rama did this, why did Rama do this, etc. Such people get more and more deluded. Now, you will see that in the beginning itself, in this Aranyakant. Now, let us go back to Chitrakoot. What happened there? Now, love between Ramchandraji and Sitaji is really inexplicable. Ramachandraji used to think that Sitaji is very komal and sukumari, very delicate and beautiful, and she has left everything, all the comfort of the palace, and she was taken care of by so many attendants. All of them she left and came with me to the forest. So Bhagavan wanted to try his best to delight her and make her feel good, and also express his love towards her. So he used to collect flowers and make garlands out of it and decorate Sitaji with the flowers. If you people have not understood this, please start doing it. And decorate Sitaji with flowers. And when this happened, Lord Indra's son, his name was Jayant, he saw the Lord doing Shringar to his wife Sitaji. But he heard that Bhagavan has taken avatar to protect Devatas from the mighty demon called Ravana. And when he saw Bhagavan is spending all the time with Sitaji, making garlands and all that, he thought that he is like one of us only. Very much attached to his wife Sitaji. Now such kind of person, how can he kill Ravana? Such a mighty demon. How will be able to, even Indra could not defeat him. How will he able to defeat such a mighty power? Now that is delusion. He didn't understand that the love of Ram for Sitaji had, and she left everything and came with him. All those things he doesn't understand. Now he wanted to check Rama's power, whether he is really mighty or has he forgotten everything. Once it so happened that Ramchandraji was resting in the lap of Sitaji. There Jayant came in the form of a crow and started pecking on Sitaji's body, and some blood also came out. Sitaji was enduring that because she didn't want to disturb Ramchandraji's sleep. But the blood flowed down and touched Bhagavan's body. Bhagavan got up and he saw that Sitaji is bleeding, and he could not take that. And he looked, who has done this? And he saw this crow. And Bhagavan recognized that it is Jayant, Indra's son. Bhagavan said, oh, you have come to test me. So what he did was he plucked one blade of grass and invoked a mantra and shot that blade of grass. It was Brahmastra which followed Jayant, the crow. Jayant ran, fearing that will hit him. First he went to his father, Indradevata. Then Indradevata said, nothing, I can't do anything, it is Ramaban. Then Brahmaji himself, Brahmaji also said, nothing doing. Then he went to Lord Shiva, he also refused. Then Vishnuloka, and nobody was able to save him. Arrow was not hitting him, but just chasing him. Because he offended Ramji, and therefore no one could give him any refuge. But Narada Muni saw him, because Santa Hridaya Navaneet Samana, saintly heart melts seeing the condition of this Jayant. Naradji said, are you a fool? You are offending Ramchandraji and seeking refuge in Lord Shiva and others. You must go to whom you have offended. You must go there and fall at the feet of the Lord and seek his forgiveness. Then that Jayant came and fell at the feet of the Lord. Please forgive me, Trahimam, Pahimam. Bhagavan's nature is whoever comes and surrender at his feet, he will make them fearless. So Bhagavan said, so you understood your mistake. Okay, I forgive you. But the arrow I shot has to have a mark. I will take one eye of yours. So that's why all the crows you see, there's only one eye now. That again, we have another explanation. We have two eyes. We see duality. Bhagavan took away one eye, means he gave him non-dual vision. He blessed him with great vision of truth. Remember that Jayant had come to check Bhagavan's might and power. But Bhagavan showed only his might and power. Now Bhagavan saw in Chitrakoot, slowly the visiting crowd is increasing. Because in Ayodhya, people come to know where Bhagavan is living. So slowly, people were coming and visiting him very often. So, it has become more and more frequent. So Bhagavan said, because of my staying here, this place is getting disturbed. Also, he has to perform his next act of avatar. Now I must go to Dandagaranyam. That place also become unholy due to Rakshasa's occupation. And also Mahatmas are there, I must meet them. Before that, we should meet great Atri Rishi and Anasuya. Here he goes to Atri Rishi ashram, and he was so delighted. Atri Rishi knows who Rama is, and he sings a beautiful stuti of Rama.
नमामि भक्तवत्सलं कृपालुशीलकोमलं भजामि ते पदाम्बुजम् अकामिनां स्वधामदम् निकामश्यामसुन्दरं भवाम्बुनाथमन्दरं प्रफुल्लकञ्जलोचनं मदादिदोषमोचनम् प्रलम्बबाहुविक्रमं प्रभो प्रमेयवैभवं निषङ्गचापसायकं धरं त्रिलोकनायकम् दिनेशवंशमण्डनं महेशचापखण्डनं मुनीन्द्रसन्तरञ्जनं सुरारिवृन्दभञ्जनम् मनोजवैरवन्दितं विरहितम् अजादिदेवसेवितं विशुद्धबोधविग्रहं समस्तदूषणापहम् नमामीन्दिरां पतिं सुखाकरं सतां गतिं भजे सशक्तिसानजुं शचीपतिप्रियानुजम् त्वदङ्घ्रिमूलये नरा भजन्ति हीनमत्सरा पतन्ति नो भवार्णने वितर्कवीचिसङ्कुले विविक्तवासिनः सदा भजन्ति मुक्तये मदा निरस्य इन्द्रियादिकं प्रयान्ति ते गतिं स्वकम् तमेकमद्भुतं प्रभुं निरीहमीश्वरं विभुं जगद्गुरुं च शाश्वतं तुरीयमेव केवलम् भजामि भाववल्लभं कुयोगिनां सुदर्लभं स्वभक्तकल्पपादपं समं सुसेव्यमन्वहम् अनूपरूपभूपतिं नतोऽहमुर्विजापतिं प्रसीद मे नमामि ते पदाब्जभक्ति देहि मे पठन्ति ये स्तवमिदं नरादरेण ते पदं व्रजन्ति नात्र संशयं त्वदीयभक्तिसंयुताः बिनती करि मुनिनाई सिरो कह जोरी कह कर जोरी बहोरी चरण सरोरुहनाथ जनी कबहू तजय मति मोरी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय
नमामि भक्तवत्सलम भक्तवत्सल भगवान कृपालु most compassionate of the noble character and contact. Here it is said, those who worship the Saguna Sakar form of the Lord, they are blessed with the devotion. At the same time, those who meditate upon the attributeless Brahman, they attain moksha. But as far as Atri Rishi is concerned, he said, please bless me with devotion to your lotus feet. Then Sitaji goes and meet with Anasuyaji. She is a great Pativrata Stri. Her prowess and fame is great. The one meaning of Atri is the one gone beyond the three gunas. Anasuya means pure-minded, no finding fault with anyone, not finding fault with anybody. That is called Anasuya. This Anasuya was the mother of Dattatreya Bhagavan. And this Anasuya only brought Gangaji as Mandagini to Chitrakoot with her tapas. So totally loyal, devoted Pativrata Stri she was. She tells Sitaji, come and sit with me. And then she gave her new clothes and ornaments. She said, this cloth is a celestial fabric, made of celestial fabric. And she said, this will remain ever new. No need to wash or iron. Think about it. I think that is the sari she wore when she was kidnapped. That's why Sitaji stayed with that sari 1 year. See. And she said, not for you, but for the other women of the world, the duties of a loyal, devoted wife, I tell you. Now, it is not relevant now, but still I will tell you. Yes. So nowadays, Pativrata word, people are allergic to it. This Karva Chauth and
Some other Vedams are there to get same husband for 7 lives. So one lady came and asked me, Swamiji, is it true that I had to get married to the same guy 7 lives? The way she asked, I understood. So I told her, how do you know this is not the 7th life? She was very happy. Now Pati should be looked upon as Parameshwar, Pati Parameshwar. Swamiji, this is too much. Now whenever you hear such expression about Pativrata Dharma, people don't understand what it is. I would like to take a few moments to tell you what exactly the essence of it. You see, the very purpose of human life is realization of truth, God realization. If that is the goal, it can be achieved by self-knowledge. That self-knowledge can be gained only when the mind is purified. Only when the mind is purified, and then only desire for knowledge will be there. How do you get purity of mind? One way, through selfless karma, seva to others. The next step is upasana. Like when we do murti puja, that statue may be made up of clay, wood or stone or panchaloha. You look upon that murti as Bhagavan. You look upon it as the Lord Himself. Then worship is offered, then your mind gets purified through this process. This is called upasana. Now to a child it is said, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. You look upon your parents as God, teacher as God or guest as God. When you can look upon a statue as God, why not living being? So here when it is said Pati is Parameshwar, it is an upasana for your purification, mental purification. Now what about man then? He was also told mother, father, teacher, guest, etc. look upon them as God. In fact, Ramayana says for a king, his praja is Bhagavan. Think of it. Once this is understood, then you don't see that person great or not. You are doing for your own mental purity. How you look upon it, it is for your purification. This is the Shastra Drishti. So Pativrata Dharma, Anasuya spoke to Sita ji, and she said, you are Pativrata Shiromani. This is actually for others. So Ram, Lakshman, Sita ji did namaskar to Atri Rishi and Anasuya ji, and taking their blessing, then went forward. Bhagavan killed one asura called Virat. He was under a curse, and now Bhagavan released him from the Shapa. In the 7th Doha, it is beautifully said, Bhagavan was moving in the forest. In the forest, what you will find? Wild animals, asuras, and also Rishimunis also you will find. Aranya means Aryate iti Aranyam. First is Brahmacharya, then Grihastha, then these householders should retire and live in some forest, that is called Vanaprastha. Forest in that which is sought after. Those people want to live a contemplative life. Aranyam also means no battle. You live in solitude. Now they reached an ashram of Sharabhanga Rishi.
This Sharabhanga Rishi was such that his tapas and merits, because of his tapas and merit, he became eligible to go to Brahmaloka with his own body. And Indra Devata had come there to take him to Brahmaloka. But Sharabhanga Rishi came to know that Ram, Lakshman, Sita ji, they are all coming here. He told Indra, you go. Ram Darshan is much higher and greater than Brahmaloka Prapti. Later on, if I want to come, I will come myself. When he met them, Sharabhanga Rishi's heart was overflowing with love for Ram, Sita. Even though he could have gone to Brahmaloka and then final liberation from there, but he said, I don't want all that. You just revel in my heart. May you, Sita ji and Lakshman ji, revel in my heart. Saying that, with Yogagni, he left his body in front of Ramchandra ji. Bhagwan gave him Vaikuntha Dhama. I want only Saguna Bhakti. This is what Sharabhanga Rishi prayed. Thereafterwards, he was moving ahead. One place he saw heaps of bones. Some other Rishimunis going with them. He asked, what is this? And they said, these are the bones of those Rishimunis eaten up by the Rakshasas. And Bhagavan said, Doha.
सीता अनुज समेत प्रभु नील जलद तनु श्याम मम हिय बसहु निरंतर सगन रूप श्री राम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय.
Bhagavan said, lifting his hand, he took a pledge that all these Rakshasas, I will finish them. He said this raising his hand. Then he visited the ashram of many rishis, consoled them, gave them hope. Now he comes to another Mahatma whose name was Sutikshana. Doha 11 and 12. Evamastu.
अनुज जानकी सहित प्रभु चाप बान धर राम मम हिय गगन इंदु इव बसहु सदा निह काम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय.
Evamastu.
एवमस्तु करि राम निवासा हर्षि चले कुंभज ऋषि पासा बहुत दिवस गुर दर्शन पाऊं भय मोहि एहि आश्रम में आए अब प्रभु संग जाऊं गुर पाहि तुम कह नाथ निहोरा नाई देख कृपा निधि मनि चतुराई लिए संग बिहसे त्वो भाई पंथ कहत निज भगति अनुपा मुनि आश्रम पहुँचे सुर भूपा तुरत सुती छन गुर पहि गयऊ करी दंडवत कस अस भयऊ नाथ कौसलाधीश कुमारा आय मिलन जगत आधारा राम अनुज समेत बैदेहि पद कमल परे द्वाभाई ऋषि अति प्रीति लिए उरलाई सादर कुशल पूछी मुनि ज्ञानी आसन बर बैठारे आनी पुनि करी बहु प्रकार प्रभु पूजा मोहि सम भाग्यवंत नहीं दूजा जहाँ लगी रहे अपर मुनि वृंदा हर्ष बिलोक सुनि सुख कंदा श्री राम जय जय रामा श्री राम जय जय रामा। मुनि समूह मह बैठे सन्मुख सबकी ओर सरद इंदु तन चितवत मानहु निकर चकोर सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय।
Then he met Sutikshna Rishi. This episode narrated in Tulsi Ramayana is so unique. You don't find it anywhere. So charming. Now he was a disciple of Agastya Rishi. Agastya Rishi also has written Ramayana. Sutikshna was a very good disciple. He completed his learning and Sutikshna ji said to his guru, "What Guru Dakshina can I give you?" Guru said, "No Dakshina is needed. I am very, very pleased with the way you have grasped the knowledge." But Sutikshna said, No, I have to give you some Guru Dakshina. Otherwise I will not feel happy. Then Guru got angry. Okay, if you want to give Dakshina, then bring Rama as Dakshina to me. And if you cannot, don't put your foot here. Don't come here. Get out. Now Sutikshna went away and sat down in meditation, praying to Lord, saying, "This demand of my Guru is such, only you can fulfill it. So I can't do anything." And he went on, he went there, he put up a kutia and started meditating upon Bhagavan. And one day he heard that Ram is coming. He just got up and started running. And he didn't know which direction Bhagavan coming. And he started going whichever way his leg took. His condition was such that he started dancing with joy. And then suddenly he became still. And again started walking up and down. By this time, Bhagavan arrived there and he stood behind a tree and watched the Rishi condition. Then Bhagavan was eager to meet his devotee. Bhagavan appeared in his heart as Ram. Suddenly he sat down, all his hair standing on end. Bhagavan appeared as Chaturbhuja Vishnu. And he was not devoted to that particular form. Then he got up, opening his eyes. Then what did he see? Bhagavan himself is standing in front of him. Boliye Bhaktavatsala Bhagavan ki jai. He saw Ram in his heart, and outside also he saw him. Here also Ramastuti is there, giving different names to Rama. Then Sutikshna asked strange things to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, everyone says that one must give up one's own ego. But I don't want to give up my ego. Bhagavan said, what? I want to have that ego that I am your servant. I have to live in this world with some individuality. So I want this ego that you are my master and that I am your sevak. Please bless me with that. Bhagavan was very pleased with him. and you ask any boon you want. He said, Bhagavan, I don't know what to ask. So you give any boon you want. Bhagavan said, he blessed him with knowledge and liberation. Then Sudikshana said, you gave me what you wanted to give me. Now give me what I want. After listening to you, now I know what I want. I want Saguna Bhakti, holy devotion to your form. I want you to be in my heart with Sita ji and Lakshman ji. That is what I want. Sudishna is like a child, therefore Bhagavan said, Tadastu. Then Bhagavan said, I heard a little distance from here, there is this Agastya Muni's ashram. I want to visit him. The moment he heard his guru's name, suddenly Sudikshna remembered Bhagavan. He said immediately, Bhagavan, I will come with you to show the way. Actually, Bhagavan understood as his Guru has said, as Guru Dakshina, I want Ram. See the Guru Shishya Sambandha. It looks like Guru got angry with them, but actually it was a blessing. That means he himself should have Ramadarshan first, and then only he can bring Rama to Agastya Rishi. Bhagavan saw his cleverness and told Lakshmana, let us go. As they were nearing the ashram, Sudikshana said, you come slowly, I will run and tell my Guru that you are coming. He ran, and when Guru saw him, he said, what? What did I tell you? Not to put your foot here. But he prostrated before Guruji and said, bring Rama, you said, but I brought Sita ji and Lakshman ji also. What? True? Yes. Disciples should be like Sudikshana. By the time Ram, Lakshman, Sita ji reached the ashram, you can't imagine the joy of Agastya Rishi felt. Agastya Rishi also knows who is Rama, Lakshmana and Sita ji. He also received them with great honor. Agastya Rishi says, even though Veda says, you are Nirgun, Nirakar, Nirvishesh, etc., but my mind again and again goes to your beautiful form. Therefore you bless me with devotion for this form only. Again Bhagavan asked from Agastya Rishi, where he should go and live. Agastya Rishi said, there is a place called Panchavati, bank of Godavari, near Nasik. 5 banyan trees are there, and therefore it is called Panchavati. There are great Rishimunis are also there, but it is polluted by Asuras. You go there and sanctify the whole place. Bhagavan goes to Panchavati. Before reaching there, a vulture appeared before them. His name was Jatayu. He said, I am a friend of Dasharatha Maharaj. I will stay here and protect Sita ji. Now come here a beautiful portion called Ram Gita. It is a dialogue between Sri Rama and Lakshmana. Now symbolism is Vatavriksha stands for Shraddha, Vishwas, faith. All spiritual seekers should have 5 kinds of faith. Number 1, faith in the existence of God, called Astikya Buddhi. Then desire for knowledge is possible only when you have this Astikya Buddhi. Otherwise, love for God is not possible. That is number 1, faith in the existence of God. Number 2, means of knowledge to know that reality. Faith in the authorities of Veda as the means of knowledge. It's called Pramana Shraddha. Number 3, Vedas are in the form of mantras true, real import must be understood. Therefore, faith in the wisdom and nobility of Guru. Number 4, faith in yourself. Number 5, faith in one's own sadhana. People take mantra from a guru and then give up, saying it is not working. Then listen to others, go for another mantra from another guru. Finally, they end up with 10 mantras, and the result is what? They don't use any one of them. Thus, Pancha Shraddha is very important. Now, okay. Ever since Bhagavan made Panchavadi as his dwelling place, now, Japte Ram Keenata Hivasa.
जब ते राम कीन्हत बासा सुखी भय मुनि बीती त्रासा गिरि बदननि काल छवि छाए दिन दिन प्रतियति होहि सुहाए खग मृग बंदत आनंदित रहहि मधुप मधुर गुंजत छवि लहहि सोबन बरनि न सकहि राजा जहाँ प्रगट रघुबीर बिराजा एक बार प्रभु सुख आसीना लक्ष्मण बचन कहे छलहीना सुर नर मुनि सचराचर साई मैं पूछाऊँ निज प्रभु की नाई मोहि समुझाई कहु सो देवा सब तजै करौ चरण रज सेवा कहु ज्ञान विराग अरु माया कहु सो भक्ति करहु जेहि दाया ईश्वर जीव भेद प्रभु सकल कहु समझाई जाते होई चरण रति शोक मोह भ्रम जाय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय
Japte Ram Keenata Hivasa. Keenata Hivasa. Sukhi Bhaye Muni Bhiti Trasa. So, ever since Bhagavan made Panchavadi as his dwelling place, there was beauty and sanctity. And all the Rishimunis became free from all fear. Giribana Nadi Tala Chavi Chaye Dina Dina Prati Ati Hoi Swaye. The nature itself is beautiful, and the one who created this nature himself is present. What to think about the beauty of that place. And one day Lakshmana saw Bhagavan seated in a relaxed mood. Lakshmana means Lakshana Yuktaha, the one who is endowed with virtues. That Lakshmana approached Prabhu. Prabhu means the one who is capable, all capable Lord. He said, I have some questions. Please explain to me. Bhagavan asked, what is that? Kahahu jnana viraga arumaya. I have heard these words, knowledge, jnanam, and vairag, virag, and maya. These words I heard, but I want to know the real meaning of that. In the spiritual literature, these words are used very commonly. Then, what is bhakti and what is the difference between Ishvara and Jiva? I want to understand the import of all of them. Everybody used these words. Bhagavan said, okay. You have that in the Thorehi Mahu Sutta.
थोरे ही मह सब कहूँ बुझाई सुनहु तात मति मन चितलाई निकाया। गो गोचर जहाँ लगी मन जाई, सो सब माया जाने हूँ भाई। तेहि कर भेद सुनहु तुम सो, विद्या अपर अविद्या दो। एक दुष्ट अतिशय दुख रूपा, जाबस जीव पराभव कूपा। एक रचई जग गुण बस जाके, प्रभु प्रेरित नहीं निज बलता के। ज्ञान मान जहाँ एक नाही, देख ब्रह्म समान सब माही। कहिय तात सो परम विरागी, दृन सम सिद्धि तीन गुण त्यागी। माया ईसन आप कहूँ, जान कहिय सो जीव। बंध मोक्ष प्रद सर्व पर, माया प्रेरक जीव। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय।
Bhagavan said, okay, you want to know all these knowledge, dispassion, Maya, Bhakti and Ishvara Jiva Bhed. What for? And Lakshmana said, I want to know all these so that I will be free from ignorance and delusion and also grief that is associated with that. And more importantly, develop more and more love for your lotus feet and serve you better. Okay, I will tell you briefly. Because you are an intelligent person, if you listen to this with your mind and intellect, then you will get it by just listening, hearing. Bhagavan started with Maya, he changed the order. People think Maya means this samsar. You know, in South India they said what? Samsar means what? Wife and children. Samsar te achinu vandirukena family. So Bhagavan said that is not samsar. What is samsar? Me ar mor torte maya. This notion in our mind that I and mine, you and yours, this is called Maya. This possessiveness is the problem. That is Maya. Then he said, what we see, touch and smell, we think that alone is real. But appearances are defective. What we see is only a version given to us by our senses. The sense interpretation is this world. What we see, that much alone is not true. What we see alone is not real. It is only a relative reality. The truth we must find out. That means what we see, what we experience, that is called Maya. Truth is something beyond that. Bhagavan says Maya is of two kinds. One is of the nature of ignorance and one is of the nature of knowledge. Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. And to put it differently, one is of the nature of creating bondage. So Maya means Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Rajas and Tamas together is called Avidya Maya. Sattva Guna is considered Vidya Maya. When your mind is predominantly sattvic, that is the time you have interest in knowledge and realization. And Avidya Maya. So it is called Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. So if you run after Avidya Maya, it will create bondage and problem for you. But you are with Vidya Maya, then this bondage will be it will help you to release from bondage. In the Vandana Sloka about Sita ji, it was said, Sarva Shreyaskarim Sitam, Kleshaharinim, remover of affliction. So, I, my is avidya maya, we get bound. But the same maya in the form of bhakti, jitnyasa, shraddha, when that comes, then it is Shuddha Sattva Pradhan that will liberate you. That Maya who is responsible for creation, sustenance, destruction, who is under the control of Bhagavan, if you follow that Maya, it will liberate you. Rama, that's why Ramchandraji is in the front, Sita ji just behind, then Lakshmana. Lakshmana was following that Maya, who was following Rama. Then there is no problem. Later on you see Ravana separated Sita ji from Ramchandraji. Then what happened, you know. This is Vidya, Avidya, Maya. Then Bhagavan said, to get rid of this Avidya, Maya, knowledge is required. And what is the nature of knowledge? Not learning, writing so many books and publishing in your name. But true sign of knowledge is one rises above body identity, rises above the ego. One who sees one Brahman everywhere and no attachment to body, then that is called knowledge. The Lakshana is humility. Jnanasya Lakshanam, humility, amanitvam. Then what is dispassion? Vairagya means no likes or dislikes, particular likes or dislikes. He gives good example. Trina samasiddhi teeni gunatyagi. Like a blade of grass, he considered all his achievements. No likes or particular dislikes. Then what is the difference between man and God? Lot of difference. In our ashram there was a satsang. One student asked Swamiji, what is the difference between God and me? Gurudev immediately answered, you ask and he doesn't ask. That is the difference. That means he knows and you don't know. In other words, God is omniscient, sarvatnyaha, but Jiva is alpatnyaha, little knowledge. Ishvara is sarvashaktiman and Jiva is alpashaktiman. Jiva always getting into trouble and Ishvara gets Jiva out of trouble. God gives and forgives and Jiva gets and forgets. Then what is bhakti? True nature of devotion is that it touches the heart of Lord. That is called bhakti, and Bhagavan blesses them. You will see that bhakti when we come to Shabari story. But the essence of bhakti is, it is not what you do, how much you do, how elaborately you do. It is your heart is there or not. Is love for Bhagavan is there or not. That's why Bhagavan patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. That love which touches and melts the heart of Bhagavan is called bhakti. Now 16th Doha, Bhagavan says, Vachana karma manamori gati bhajanu karahi nishkama inike hridaya kamalamago karahu sada vishram. Bhagavan says, the one who loves me, thought, word and deed, wholeheartedly, without any kind of worldly desire, Bhagavan says, I take rest in the hearts of such people. I feel very rested. Vishram, I take Vishram. I take rest there in their heart. And listening to all these topics, Lakshmanji was pleased, particularly more pleased when he heard about Bhakti Yoga. Now, as I was telling you, every canto, there is one particular personality come and the whole story changes. In Balakand, you see Vishwamitra Rishi comes and then the whole story changes. And in Ayodhya Kand, you see Mandhara comes and the whole turn of events you can see completely different. Now here you see, there is one character comes, the whole story changes. Now we saw Rama Gita, teaching of Rama to Lakshman. There are so many things are there. Generally we talk on Rama Gita itself 2, 3, 4 days. Okay, that much material is there, but I don't have time, so this much is enough. In this way, discussing about yoga, bhakti, etc. for some time peacefully. As you know, life is not that something smooth. Something has to happen, and something happened. There came Shurpanakha, the sister of Ravana. Shurpanakha is her name. Nakha means nail. The nail is compared here with what Shurpa. Shurpa means sieve. You know, in our villages, when they want to separate what you call stone and the paddy, they use that. Such a big one. And think about her nail itself is that big. So you can imagine her body. She is introduced by her own name. She was famous by herself. Her heart is wicked, terrible, like a snake, lusty, passionate person. Now once she went to Panchavati, roaming about, and suddenly she saw Ram, Lakshman, most handsome people. And when she saw, immediately her mind was filled with sensual desire and disguising as a beautiful lady, approached Ramchandraji. Now look at this, no formality, no etiquette, no shyness or anything. She went and straightway said, "There is no man like you and no lady like me. Tuma sama purusha namo sama nari." We are made for each other. What she said is true. No handsome person like Ramchandraji and no shameless person like Shurpanekha. Tuma sama purusha namo sama nari. Bhagavan understood what type of a woman she is. Actually, she is ugly and old. She was married and her husband was killed by Ravana himself. She said, "I have been roaming about in this world and I never found a match for myself. That is why I remained unmarried so far." All lie. Now that I see you, you stand some chance. Look at her. So much of arrogance. This character is a peculiar character. Immediately, Ram, Lakshman, Sita understood what kind of person she is. Bhagavan said, "I am already married and my wife is with me here. But my younger brother is here, see, and his wife is also not with him. So you may have a chance with him." So she looked at Lakshmana, okay, he's also better, he's also okay. So immediately she went to Lakshmana. Tu nahi or sahi. You are not there, someone else, that is okay. Lakshmana said, "I myself a servant of my master. If you marry me, you will be a servant of a servant. There is no sukham in servant's life. It is like expecting honor for a beggar. Greedy person wants fame in the society. Extremely arrogant person, he wants all purusharthas. I don't think you are that kind of person, would like to be a slave. You are a free, licentious person. She said, you are right. Then again she went back to Ram. Ram said, I already told you my situation. Then again she went to Lakshmana. Suddenly she got angry because she was going back and forth. She got wild, Rakshasa Sabhavam. She thought that Sita is the problem. That is why these people are rejecting me. Suddenly she appeared in her real terrible monstrous form. She wanted to attack Sitaji. And Bhagavan Rama only just indicated to Lakshmana. Lakshmana understood. He swiftly took out his sword and cut her nose and ears. And blood was coming from both nose and ears. And she ran screaming, shouting, cursing. And her brothers were there. She went to her brothers, Khara, Dushana, Trishira, Bhayangara Rakshas. They were there with 14,000 Rakshasas camping there. Ravana kept place to place his army like a check post so that people cannot reach Lanka that easily. This place is called Janasthanam. So when she went there, Kharadushana asked, what happened? How can anyone disfigure you? Because you yourself are so terrible. You eat people. Then she started accusing them. What kind of brothers you are? You cannot take care of me. Only 2 Rajakumaras, human beings, they are there. One of them did this to me. Now Kharadushana, Trishira, with them 14,000 armies, immediately went to Ramchandraji. And this Surpanaka showing the way. Bhagavan Rama also knew that this Surpanaka episode is not over. It is only the beginning. Ramchandraji said to Lakshmana, take Sitaji to a safe place and stand guard. And when the Rakshasas come, I will take care of them myself. And all the Rakshasas came. Think about it, 14,000 Rakshasas along with Khara, Dushana, Trishira. They're all mighty Rakshasas, as great as Ravana himself. And when they came and they saw Bhagavan Ramchandraji standing there alone with his bow and arrow, so handsome and a divine beauty, then they stood there looking at him. And Karadushan said, we have seen so many men, handsome ones, but such beauty we never have seen so far. Even though you have disfigured our sister, we don't have any heart to shoot any arrow at you. That is called Sundarata. Even such wicked people, their heart also melting in front of him. That is called real Sundarata. Now he called his minister, go and tell him, even though you have done something to our sister, just give that Sitaji to us, and then you can go back. We will not do any harm to you. Look at his Udarada Karadushan. When this minister went there, Bhagavan said, informed the message of Karadushan. Bhagavan said, don't give cowardly talk now. You have come as enemy to fight in the battle. Now, if you are afraid, go back. Then there was a fierce battle took place between Khara, Dushana's army, and Bhagavan Ramchandraji. So the war was going on, and suddenly Bhagavan used Mohanastra. And each Rakshasa thought the other one is Rama, and saying Ram, Ram, they killed each other. So, saying Ram and seeing Rama, they all were killed. How lucky they were. Bhagavan is compassionate. Even such Rakshasas also gained Vaikuntha. If you hate that sugar and eat it, it will still be sweet only. So too, Bhagavan's name is so sweet. And even if you chant it with hatredness, it will be sweet only. In a few minutes, all asuras fallen down dead. Then there is war. The Devatas immediately gather in the sky between Khara, Dushan and Trishiras. All the three attacked Bhagavan Ramchandraji. Think about it. Bhagavan alone standing there. And the Devatas immediately gathered in the sky. And when they saw Ramchandraji kill all these three mighty Rakshasa, powerful Rakshasas, Khara, Dushana and Trishara, and they showered flowers from the heavens. Khara-Dushana and Trishara's killing is not the end. Bhagavan knew that they are not the boss. Someone else is the boss. So Bhagavan, by killing Khara-Dushana, threw a challenge at Ravana. Then Shurpanaka saw all the army and her brothers were routed in no time. And that also single-handedly. She was surprised and wonder-struck. And she went furiously, she went to Lanka, and in the whole Sabha of Ravana, she screamed. She said, in front of all assembled in the Ravana's court, she said, you are not alert and vigilant at all. You are not worried and concerned about safety and security of Rakshasas and your country. You are sitting here drinking wine and sleeping day and night. You think that nobody can touch you. You don't know the clouds of danger hanging over your head. Now she is advising, think about it. If there is no Rajaniti, proper governance, then the kingdom will perish. If dharma is not there, through unrighteous way, if one earns money, it won't stay with him. Even good deeds are there, and if they are not dedicated to Bhagavan Hari, those karmas have no value. Think about it. This is called Rakshasa Vedanta. What she says, all are wonderful things. Someone is very literate and educated, but common sense is not there. All these are mere labor only. And Ravana, you understand. Do you understand what I am saying? If there is a spiritual seeker, remains in the company of very sensuous people, he will destroy himself. Or a king doesn't have a good minister to advise him, he will also perish. Arrogance will destroy your knowledge. And too much of drinking, then sense of modesty will go away. A few things you should never underestimate them. Number one, Ripu, enemy, disease, fire, sin and snake. Oh Ravana, do you understand? Ravana said, calm down first and tell me what happened. Suddenly you start giving advice to me. Because one thing Ravana doesn't like, I don't like anyone giving advice. I don't need it. Shurpanaka said, now you are asking me. Actually, you should have known yourself. Anyway, I'll tell you. Now the whole story she changes, okay? She said, I went to Panchavadi for a sightseeing. And I saw two Rajakumaras. And also with them I saw a beautiful woman. She understands Ravana's weakness. You have many, many women, but they are nothing compared to her. I wanted to take her and give you as a gift. But when I approached her, then these two brothers, when they come to know my intention, he cut off my ear and nose. Then I went to Karadushan, but they were all killed in no time. All are gone. Ravana heard this. He said, okay, you calm down. Now I will find out what I can do. Now, after Doha 22.
तेहि बन निकट दसानन गयौ तब मारी कपट मृग भयौ अति विचित्र कछु बरनि न जाई कनक देह मनि रचित बनाई सीता परम रुचिर मृग देखा अंग अंग सुमनोहर बेशा सुनहु देव रघुबीर कृपाला एहि मृग कर अति सुंदर छाला सत्य संध प्रभु विधि कर एहि आनहु चर्म गहति वै देहि तब रघुपति जानत सब कारण उठे हर्षि सुर काज सवारन मृग बिलोकी कटि परिकर बांधा कर तल चाप रुचिर सर सांधा प्रभु लक्ष्मण ही कहा समुझाई फिरत विपन निशिचर बहु भाई सीता केरी करहु रखवारी बुद्धि विवेक बल समय विचारी प्रभु ही बिलोकी चला मृग भाजी धाय राम सरासन साजी निगम नेति शिव ध्यान न पावा माया मृग पाछे सो धावा कबहु निकट पुनि दूरी पराई कबहु प्रगटई कबहु छुपाई प्रगटत दुरत करत छल भूरी एहि विधि प्रभु ही गयौ लय दूरी तब तकी राम कठिन सर माया धरनी परे करी घोर पुकारा.
He went forward. Anyway. So, Surpanahi samujai kari pala polasi bahu pipanti gayahu bhavana ati soja basa needa parayu nahi stati. Now, after consoling Surpana, he went to his palace and he started thinking. His thoughts are given here. Tulsidaji says, Ravana started thinking, who is there in this world who is not under my rule? Ravana is thinking. Devatas, human beings, asuras, nagas, gandharvas, birds, everyone who can, is there anyone who can dare challenge me? And Kharat Dushan, they are equal to me in strength. Who can kill them other than Bhagavan himself? Is it that Lord taken avatar here? If he has taken avatar, then I am not going to surrender to him. But he will be my enemy. And if he is Bhagavan, sure I will die at his hand. Then I will cross over the ocean of samsara. If you come to know Bhagavan has come, what should be the thinking, right thinking? I am so lucky, the Lord is here. Let me see him and fulfill my purpose of my life. But Ravana says, worship, surrender is not possible in this tamasa deha, rakshasa deha. No sattvic thought. Even though he thought that he is mighty and all that, but he cannot do bhajan, cannot do bhakti. Surrender is not in my list. Now this is my resolve that I will take him as my enemy. Suppose if he is only a human being, then I will finish him. Or I will kidnap his wife. Then there will be battle and I will win the battle. Thinking like this, no worship, only worship. Still doubt really is God or man. Thinking like this, he went alone to Maricha, taking his Pushpa Viman. This Maricha is a Mayavi. He is expert in assuming different forms. He sat on his Pushpa Viman and went to Marich, who was near Panchavati, Nasik, that is near Mumbai. So Maricha was living in Mumbai, okay? So that's why it is called Maya Nagari. Now Ravana is planning. Now when you see two parties are fighting each other, both will be planning. Therefore Rama was also planning. Rama knew what Ravana is planning. Bhagavan is Antaryami. He is there in Ravana's heart also. Therefore Ramchandraji called Sitaji. When Lakshmana was not there, he called her, I tell you something, very secretly. My dear Sita, listen, I want to do some Naralila. Bhagavan knew that Ravana is going to kidnap Sitaji. But Sitaji is such a pativrata nari. She cannot be touched by Ravana just like that. So you do one thing. Your original form you hand over to Agni Devata and assume a Maya Sita, exactly like you. In one of the Ramayana it is said the Sattvic type of Sitaji was in the heart of Ramchandraji and therefore no separation. Rajasic form was in the fire. Tamasic form she assumed exactly like the original Sitaji. No one could distinguish. Even Lakshmana did not know. This was known only to Ram and Sita. Even when we watch this episode of Ramayana in the movie, we become emotional. And what to talk about the acting of Sitaji and Ramchandraji. Lakshmana came and did not know he is looking at Maya Sita. If Ravana is playing his trick, Bhagavan is higher than him. Now let us go back to Ravana. He went to uncle Maricha, anxious, worried. Maricha immediately received him with honor and respect. He said, Raja, Maharaj, you look worried. What happened? He told what all things happened. Then he said, I want you to help me. I have decided to kidnap Sita. But as long as that Ram, Lakshman, they are there, I won't be able to do it. Therefore, you appear there as a golden deer. most charming and fascinating, so that Sita will want to have that deer. Then you take that Rama far, far away. I know you may die in the process, but while dying, you scream in the voice of Rama, asking for help, and Sita ji will get worried and ask Lakshmana also to go. This is the plan of Ravana. Maricha said, enmity with whom? Ram. And he started shivering like a leaf. When an ordinary arrow he shot at me, he sent me away 800 miles away from Bihar. I have fallen here. Since then I have taken sannyas. He is God, and enmity with him is not going to help you. Please go back. Ravana said, what? What is happening to people? Everyone trying to teach me. He took out a Chandrahas to strike Maricha. And Maricha started thinking. In Doha 25 after. You read that already?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, we did that one.
Tapamari Chakradaya Anumana is there.
तब मारीच हृदय अनुमाना, नवहि विरोधे नहीं कल्याणा। शस्त्री मर्मी प्रभु सठ है धनी, वैद बंदी कवि भानस गुनी। भयउ भांति देखा निज मरना, तब ताकि सिर रघुनायक सरना। उतरु देत मोहि बध भागे, कसना मरौ रघुपति सर लागे। अस जिय जानि दसानन संगा, चला राम पद प्रेम अभंगा। मन अति हर्ष जानवन तेहि, आज देखऊ परम सनेही।
Now,
निज
when Ravana lifted Chandrahas, then Maricha started thinking, you should not have enmity towards these 9 people. Now listen. Number 1 is Shastri, someone holding a gun and weapon. 42nd Street and subway you go, someone behind a gun. That time don't argue with him. Give whatever you have, give it to him. Shastri. Then Marmi, the one who knows your secret. Don't fight with him. That third one, Prabhu, strong and influential person. Then fourth one is Shatha, foolish fellow. Dushta, such a person also no point fighting. Then fifth one is Dhani, very rich person. Sixth one is Vaidya, doctor. Then Bandi, bards who sing glories of the king. Nowadays, journalist, don't fight with him. Then Kavi, poets. Then 9th one is Bhanas, means cook. Here, cook also you cannot fight with it. You don't know what you get afterwards. Here Ravana was with weapon standing. So Maricha was thinking, if I don't obey him, he will kill me. If I obey him, Rama will kill me. Which is better? Both way I will be killed. Now which is better? Better to die in the hands of Ramchandraji. At least I will get Gati. If I die in the hands of this Rakshasa, this evil person, I will never get Gati. So, by this time, he has become a devotee of Rama. So he started imagining, which Ravana has given me a good opportunity. I will go there as deer and he will chase me. I stop and look at him and I can see him in person in front of me. Then he may shoot me. Looking at him and chanting his name, I will die. What a great death. And thinking like this, he told Ravana, Maharaj, okay, I accept. Now you see, Ravana has planned. Bhagavan also has his own plan. And Maricha also have his own plan. Then this Maricha assumed a charming golden deer form with many gems stuck on his skin. Slowly went near the kutia where Ramchandraji, Sitaji was staying. And Sitaji saw. Her mind was captivated. She asked her husband Ramji, look at this wonderful deer. Please get me this. If you can bring him alive, that will be wonderful. I can play with that. But suppose if it dies, then I can have the deer skin. Bhagavan also knows that this is a Maya Amrit. He is not real. This is not a real deer, Maya Amrit. Now that Jayant came, Bhagavan took one blade of grass and shot at him. It was chasing Jayant and brought him to his feet. Same thing he could have done here also. But then the Leela purpose of avatar won't be fulfilled. Ravana had become mighty and powerful. He was a terror to the whole creation. Individually, Sahasrabahu, Bali had defeated him. Vali had defeated him. Individually defeating did not help the society and the world. Because he became, afterwards what happened? They became their friends. What Bhagavan wanted was that there must be a movement against Ravana. Movement is when one can achieve things, when all people come together. Like India's freedom movement, you see. That is called movement. What Ramchandraji wanted was that there should be such a cause where all people really around him become against that Ravana. Only winning that Ravana individually is not the aim. His rule must end. Adharma Rajya must end. Now Sitaji becomes the symbol. She is a chaste Pativrata Stri. Ravana had many other women also brought forcefully from other countries. And finally they had to accept him also. But nobody was like Sitaji. Here is someone for whole world sympathy will be there. And when the Ravana is defeated, then he cannot come back again. This is the whole idea. Therefore, Bhagavan, running after this Maya deer, now in Aranyakand, it is all Maya. Even Sitaji is also Maya Sita. Maricha is also Maya. Maricha also wants Rama to chase him. And he wants to look at him. Here Bhagavan is fulfilling Maricha's wish also. That Brahman who is not known through Vedas and Lord Shiva meditate upon whom, that Lord is running behind a Maya Mrigam. And when they were far, far away, Bhagavan shot the deer. As the deer was falling down, he shouted in the voice of Ram, "Ha Lakshman, save me." Silently he said, afterwards he said silently, "Ram." Seeing his love for the Lord, Bhagavan gave him that state. Even yogis don't get that state he got. And then Maricha got killed. Now Bhagavan wants to go back. Also worried about the voice of Maricha. Ha Lakshman, ha Sita. Now let us go to where Sitaji is there. Ravana was thinking he is succeeding in his mission. Now he has to get rid of that Lakshmana also. Lakshmana stood there and Sitaji said, "Lakshmana, you go, your brother is in danger." Lakshmana laughed. Sometimes you laugh at the wrong time, it is very dangerous. He laughed because how can Sitaji think that Rama will come to danger? You have seen that single-handedly he killed 14,000 Rakshasas in no time. And what will one Rakshasa can do to him? That's why he laughed. That time Sitaji said such hurting words to him. Marma vachana tab Sita bola. Actually Sita boli should be there. But he deliberately used the wrong grammar. Sita bola. It is indication of this is something opposed to Sitaji's nature. When she spoke such hurting words, doubting even Lakshmana's intention about her, how can she say that? And Lakshmana could not take it. You go from here. But before going, he drew a circle and told her, please do not go outside this circle. It is well known as Lakshmana Rekha. The mystery about this Rekha is when Ravana tried to cross the line, fire used to come and stop him. But when Sitaji crossed, nothing happened. What kind of censor is put there, we don't know. And Lakshmana went reluctantly. Now Ravana saw Ram, Lakshman, both are not there. And he came there in the garb of a sannyasi. By this only the greatness of sannyasa order is established. Because he came in the form of sannyasi, that is why she trusted. But when he started talking, she knew something is wrong. Also it is said when he kidnapped her, he dropped his sannyasa dress. Then the honor of that dress is also kept. He came there asking for bhiksha. Her mind was preoccupied about her Rama. And when she was giving the bhiksha, he said, you have to come this side of the line. And when she came out, suddenly he showed his real Ravana form and took her in his aerial car, aerial chariot, Pushpaviman. At that time, and she started crying. Then she realized her mistake. She started crying. Ha Ram, ha Lakshman. And crying, hearing the cry, the vulture Jatayu heard the crying, the noise of her crying. He immediately pounced on Ravana, a huge vulture, also old. Now Ravana was anxious because he wanted to quickly get away from there. Otherwise he was afraid of Ram, Lakshman coming back and chasing him. So he was in a hurry. But when Jatayu attacked, what happened? He had to come down. Sitaji was brought down by Jatayu. Then he started attacking that Ravana with all force. Ravana thought this vulture is delaying me. He took out his sword and cut off his wings. He knew the weakness of birds. Birds' wings are not there, they cannot do anything. it fell down helplessly and took Sita again into the Pushpa Viman and flew over. As they were flying over Rishimukh mountain, Sitaji saw some monkeys were sitting there. She dropped some ornament, tied it in her cloth to the monkeys. Now here Rama saw Lakshmana coming, asked, "Why did you come? I told you to stay there." But Lakshmana said, "She said such hurting words." Ramchandraji said, "When a woman is in distress, she will say such words. You should not mind that." In Balakand, story took turn because of Vishwamitra. In Ayodhya Kand, it was Mantara. And in Aranyakand, because of Lakshmana. Okay. Not only Shurpanaga, Shurpanaga also. If Lakshmana has not moved from there, then this would not have happened. He became an instrument. Ramchandraji said, "I have a feeling that she is not there." Here we generally think success is when we achieve our desired result. Ravana achieved his objective in kidnapping Sitaji. So he was successful in the worldly sense. And Jadayu wanted to save her but failed in his attempt. But then what happened? Jadayu's failure is nobler than Ravana's success. Ultimately, the result you have to see. Ravana kidnapped Sitaji with the hope that he could marry her, but he did not succeed in that. And Jadayu gave his life to protect her purity and chastity, and he succeeded. Therefore, the idea of failure and success should be thought of properly. This Ramayana story is very deep. Katha Ram ke good. Ravana took Sitaji and put her in Ashokavadi. How she lived there? Sitaji, all the time she was thinking of that form of Lord. How he ran after that Maya deer. That was the last scene she has seen about her husband, Rama. How he ran after that Maya deer. That was the last she had seen. And all the time chanting the name of the Lord, she realized her mistake. While leaving Ayodhya, she said, "I don't want anything other than the Lord." Now she wanted something other than the Lord, the golden deer. When the mind is shifted from the Lord and you want something else, then trouble will be there. Second point, you doubt a sadhu purusha like Lakshman and trust a wicked person, Ravana. Such thing create bondage. Ram Lakshmana came to the cottage and found Sitaji is not there. Anxious and worried, both started looking for Sitaji. Then they found Jadayu in the deathbed. He was holding his breath to convey the message to Ram. Lord Rama comes there and Jadayu tells the whole thing. Bhagavan said, "You have sacrificed your life, and that is the noblest act. Now I bless you to live and be immortal." Jadayu said, "When you are in front of me, why should I live in the vulture's body?" Bhagavan gave him Sarupya Mukti, the form of Bhagavan. Then he sings Lord's praise, and after that the Lord sent him to heaven and tell him, when you go to heaven and see my father there, please don't tell him about this episode, the Sita is being kidnapped by Ravana. Please don't tell my father. Ravana kept off Sitaji. Ravana himself will tell him when he goes there. You don't tell him, he will tell him. Now, Stuti is there, Doha 31.
जय राम रूप अनूप निर्गुण सगुण गुण प्रेरक सही दस शीस बाहु प्रचंड खंडन चंड सर मंडन मही पाथोदगात सरोज मुखरा जीव आयत लोचनम नित नौमि राम कृपाल बाहु विशाल भव भय मोचनम बलम प्रमेयम अनादिमजम अंत में कर गोचरम गोविंद गोपर द्वंद हर विज्ञान घन धर निधरम जय राम मंत्र जपंत संत अनंत जन मन रंजनम नित नौमि राम काम प्रिय कामादि खल दल गंजनम जहि श्रुति निरंजन ब्रह्म व्यापक विरज अज कहि गावहि करि ध्यान ज्ञान विराग जोग अनेक मुनि जेहि पावहि सो प्रकट करुणा कंद शोभा वृंद अग जग मोहहि मम हृदय पंकज भृंग अंग अनंग बहु छवि सोहहि जो अगम सुगम सुभाव निर्मल असम सम शीतल सदा पश्यन्ति जम जोगी जतन करि करत मन को बस सदा सो राम रमा निवास संतत दास बस त्रिभुवन धनी मम उरस बसौ सो सुमन संस्कृति जासु कीरति पावनी अविरल भक्ति मागी वर गीध गयौ हरिधाम तेहि की क्रिया जथोचित निज कर कीन्ही राम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय।
As far as Jadayu's physical body is concerned, Bhagavan himself did his cremation and last rites. That luck even Dasharatha Maharaj did not get. That luck Jadayu got. Now we saw Jadayu Moksha. Bhagavan Ramchandraji, as per information he gathered from Jadayu, Ram Lakshman continued their search of Sita ji and went towards southern direction. Then, as they were going ahead, one Asura came. His name was Kabanda, and he was under the curse of Durvasa Rishi. Bhagavan released him from that Asura Yoni. Thereafterwards, now Bhagavan is moving, and now comes a very beautiful episode that is about Shabari. This is one of the, there are few characters in Ramayana, they appear very short time, but they leave impression in our mind. One is Jadayu, the second one is Shabari. All the Ramayana Kathakas call her Kutia as ashram. Nowadays in the ashram, austerity is the first casualty. Everyone wants comforts only. Ashram means there must be shrama. Shrama means tapasya. Shrama means tapasya, austerity. That should be there. And Shabari saw Rama is coming to her house. This episode is very interesting. And there is a Navabhita Bhakti Bhagavan gave Upadesh to Ram, Shabari. That we will see tomorrow. Veeramaruti.
Veeramaruti, Gambhiramaruti, Veeramaruti, Gambhiramaruti, Veeramaruti, Ati Veeramaruti, Veeramaruti, Ati Veeramaruti, Geeta Maruti, Sangeeta Maruti, Geeta Maruti, Sangeeta Maruti, Duta Maruti, Ram Duta Maruti, Duta Maruti, Ram Duta Maruti, Bhakta Maruti, Parama Bhakta Maruti, Bhakta Maruti, Parama Bhakta Maruti, Veera Maruti, Gambhira Maruti, Veera Maruti, Gambhira Maruti, Gambhira Maruti, Gambhira Maruti.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.